Good morning. This is Miss Mansky with your first mini lesson of the week. I hope that you had a safe and healthy weekend and that you were able to spend some time outside in the beautiful weather. Things are really crazy in our community right now and across the country, and I hope that you are taking some time out of your day to take care of yourself and your family, and check in with yourself about how you're feeling and the way that you're spending your time. That being said, there's a week left in school, so let's get started with today's lesson. Today we're going to be talking about characterization again, building off of what we talked about last week. So just as a review, a character is a person, animal, or other being in a story. Character traits are personality traits based on what someone does, thinks, or says, and characterization is how authors describe and develop characters. So today we're going to be specifically focusing on character traits. Personality traits that are based on what someone does, thinks, or says. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at a couple of passages and using the things that the characters do, think, or say to describe them with a character trait. So this first passage, oh my gosh, that is so annoying that it keeps doing that. So this first passage that we're going to look at will be our practice. So here we go. Mom and Dad are the only adults in our house, but everyone in the family knows that it's Zoe who's in charge. Zoe is only 3 years old, but she has us all doing everything for her. Every morning she wakes up the entire family at 6 o'clock. She begs for breakfast and then begs to go outside and play. What do? Feed her and take her to the park, of course. Zoe is too young to go to school, but don't try to tell her that. She won't listen. At least once a week she sneaks out and follows me to the bus stop. When I get home from school, I like to get my homework done right away. Zoe has other ideas. She brings her toys to me and drops them in my lap. Then she stares at me and whines. Zoe, stop telling me what to do, I shout, but she can't help it. After all, she's a dog. Okay, so in this story, we don't have necessarily the thoughts and dialogue that some of these other examples will have, but we can look at the characters' actions to describe their character traits, right? So these are some of the actions that Zoe takes in the story. So she has us all doing everything for her. She wakes up the entire family at 6. She begs for breakfast and then begs to go outside and play. She won't listen. She sneaks out and follows me to the bus stop. She brings her toys to me and drops them in my lap. She stares at me and whines. These actions all give us a picture of what this character is like. So there are several different words that we could use to describe this character, but we'll notice looking at all of the things that we have underlined, some really like specific, consistent things about Zoe. So she has us all doing everything for her. She wakes up the entire family at 6 o'clock, begs for breakfast, and begs to go outside and play. So basically, we can infer from the information included in this passage that Zoe is something of a, oh my gosh, bossy character, right? We can also say that she's pushy, that she's overbearing, that she's controlling, right? She is a dog, of course, so not all of these character traits are necessarily applicable, but because we know that she has so much control and sway over the family described in the passage, we could use these words to describe her character traits. All right, oops. So here's passage number 2. One day, Dog came upon a cart filled with large slabs of meat. The butcher had left it on the street to make a delivery. Dog could barely believe his good fortune. He grabbed the largest piece of meat in his teeth. He was already thinking about the feast he would have when he was home. As Dog turned to go, he thought about all the meat he'd be leaving behind. So he quickly pulled out another large slab. Again he turned to go, but again he could not bring himself to leave any meat behind. Finally, with 3 large slabs of meat in his mouth, Dog set off for home. Along the way, Dog came to a bridge. As he was crossing, he saw his reflection in the water. Thinking it was another dog with even more meat, Dog growled. Give me that meat, he barked. Alas, as soon as he opened his mouth, his own feast fell into the water and was lost forever. So we're thinking about what the dog's thoughts, actions, and speech are in this text. So his actions. He keeps going back for more meat, right? So um, he has a piece, but then he goes back for more. And then he has two pieces, but then he goes back for even more, right? So that's an action that shows that this dog is greedy. Um, he grabbed the largest piece of meat. He quickly pulled out another large slab. He could not bring himself to leave any meat behind. And then when he sees this reflection of the dog in the water with a mouthful of meat, he thinks it is a dog that has more than him, and so he ends up dropping what he has, right? And he says, "Give me that meat," to the dog in the water. So all of these actions, thoughts, and speech combined show us that this character is greedy. All right, so this is our last passage, and this is the one that you're going to be using to complete your exit ticket for today. So I'm just going to read the passage for you quickly, and then the exit ticket is really short, and I'll give you a little preview of it like I normally do. The Greek god Zeus created a woman and told the other gods to provide her with gifts. The gods gave her a beautiful face, sweet voice, and many charms. Zeus named this woman Pandora and sent her to live among the humans. With her he sent a box. He told Pandora it was never to be opened. But Pandora began to wonder about the box. She tried to imagine what was inside it. "I know I shouldn't open it. Perhaps I'm just not supposed to open it fully," she said. "Perhaps I can just peek inside. I must find out." Pandora lifted the lid as gently as she could. There was a terrible roar. Out rushed disease, hunger, pain, and sadness of every kind. Pandora slammed the lid shut, but it was too late. From that moment on, human beings would never again live without suffering. But one thing had not escaped from the box. It could help humans face the ills they met. It was hope. All right, so as usual, there is a multiple choice exit ticket attached to this email, and I will show you what it looks like here. Um, These are the three questions. So question one says, which thoughts from passage number 3 prove that the character is curious? So the multiple choice options are all lines from the text. So you are going to choose the one that proves which thoughts Pandora has that make her curious. Question 2 is which actions from passage 3 prove that the character is curious. So again, these are all sentences from the text. You have to choose the one that shows which action she does that makes her a curious character. And question 3 says what speech from passage number 3 proves that the character is curious. This would be any lines of dialogue from the text that show this character trait. All right, that is all I have for today. If you have any questions or any concerns about anything at all, please feel free to reach out to me via email. I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you are staying safe and healthy and taking care of yourself, and I will talk to you again later this week. Goodbye.